Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you click the subscribe button on YouTube. Almost at 40,000 subscribers. That is my goal by January 1st. So spread the word, let people know about NoDQ&A video. And with that being said, let's get right down to your questions from spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from Sting HBK316. Aaron, you've been blowing off suggestions for Shield versus Wyatts for a while now. Now what do you think after Raw? I think they should save it for WrestleMania. I definitely think after that tease on Raw this past week, I think you have to do Shield versus Wyatts now. I think that it would be a good idea to do that match at some point. As far as who will be the baby faces and who will be the heels, I think it makes more sense for the Shield to turn face, maybe have that match, and then have the Wyatts be the reason for the Shield's breakup. You could have some sort of turmoil between the Shield and perhaps Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins turn on Roman Reigns, and that will be the official split of the Shield. So I think that's a good way to go. As far as it taking place at WrestleMania or not, that definitely seems like a WrestleMania caliber match. But I got another question here from Captain Heisenberg, and I like that username, by the way. Hey Aaron, even though it will be unfortunate when this actually happens, could you see the Shield starting to disband in the months leading to WrestleMania, resulting in a triple threat match at WrestleMania, possibly for the U.S. title if Dean Ambrose still has it? Absolutely, that is another possibility for WrestleMania. If WWE doesn't do Shield versus Wyatts, you could have the split happen sooner. Maybe you could do Shield versus Wyatts at the Royal Rumble, have that lead to the Shield breakup, and then do the triple threat match at WrestleMania. And I still think back to a few weeks ago when Dean Ambrose was talking about how he still has his title, and Roman Reigns gave him the look. So you could build that up and have a triple threat match revolved around the U.S. title, in addition to the Shield losing to the Wyatt family. That could also be a cause for them to break up. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with it, but yeah, either the Shield versus the Wyatt family or the Shield exploding, having a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I mean, either one of those matches sounds like a WrestleMania caliber match, and something that WWE should definitely build up for WrestleMania. All right, this next one comes from Mike Campo 28. Hey Aaron, you're doing a great job with these videos. Thank you for that. First time asker. All right. If there was a unification title match at WrestleMania 30, would they change the title design? Please answer in video. Keep up the good work. Well, one would think that if WWE was to do a unification title match for WrestleMania, that they would have a new title design. They would introduce something new to represent the merged titles. But on the other hand, they just introduced the new WWE title design last year after so many years of having the spinner belt. So I don't know if WWE would want to change the title design so quickly. It would not surprise me if WWE was to keep the WWE title design and just retire the big gold belt design. I think that would be more likely if they were to do a unification title match, which, by the way, that's a big maybe at this point. That's still a rumor. So I think it's best to cross that bridge when you get to it and discuss the idea of introducing a new title design if you're even going to have that match. All right, this one comes from Wrestling Do 95. If you were a pro wrestler, what kind of gimmick would you have? What would be your finisher, also your theme music, and what wrestling company would you work for? Well, let's be realistic here. I'm not sure what kind of question what wrestling company would you work for is. I'm not going to come out here and say, yeah, I want to work for CZW. Obviously, I would work for WWE. I would go where the money is, and I'm a John Cena fanboy after all, according to some people. So, I'm going to WWE. As far as my theme music, I think it would have to be King of Kings, and my finisher would be the pedigree, and my gimmick would be I walk around carrying a shovel, and I never lose. So there's your answer. And I'm pretty sure I've answered that one before, but that's the answer I always like to give. All right, this one comes from Craig Humpage1. Hi, Aaron. I tried to ask this question before. So sorry if you got it twice. I was at Raw last night in Manchester. Did the crowd sound as awesome on TV as they did in person? Please answer in video and keep up the great work. At times, the crowd was really hot. At other times, they were quite dead, actually. I don't think it was one of the best UK crowds, and I got some heat for this on Facebook. I commented on the Raw crowd. It seemed to me like they were more interested in doing the chants, like the what chants and the yes chants, and singing Fandango's theme song. It seemed like they were trying to do chants that got themselves over and put themselves in the spotlight more than actually reacting to the matches and following the matches. And they were also doing the wave during some of the matches. So, it seemed like they were just trying to draw attention to themselves. And to me, that's not a great wrestling crowd. A great wrestling crowd will react to the characters and react to the storytelling. So, I mean, it was an okay crowd. And, they went crazy when Big Show did the choke slam with Randy Orton through the table. The people went nuts for that. So, I mean, there were some moments where they were really loud and into what was going on. But there were other times that they were just sitting there. And I was really shocked, too, for Tyson Kidd's match. As much as people say that they love Tyson Kidd on the internet and all the smart fans think that he should get a push, I was shocked that instead of cheering for him and trying to help him get over, they were doing the Fandango song, singing that song and doing the dance. And, that thing got old 6 months ago. And, it just shows that, they're stuck in the past, I guess. All right, this next one comes from Nightwisher91. Hey, Aaron, greetings from Serbia. In your opinion, what should WWE do with John Cena to make him more lovable to the crowd? He is a face, but he's more hated than Vicky Guerrero or Paul Heyman. Please answer in video. Well, it really depends on the city as far as him being more hated than Vicky or Paul Heyman. In a lot of cities, he's the most over guy on the show, next to maybe Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. But wherever he goes, he tends to get the loudest reaction. So, it doesn't matter if he's being cheered or if he's being booed. What matters is if people are reacting and having a good time and enjoying the show. As far as making him more lovable, honestly, I don't know if there's anything you can do at this point. I think the only way to make him more lovable would be to actually turn him heel. I think you would get more cheers from the male audience. They've really done everything they could with him to try to get people to cheer him as a babyface. Having him come out in pink and promoting the rise above cancer. I mean, what else can you do, beyond that? So yeah, I mean, they've done what they've been able to do with him, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. People will cheer John Cena, they'll boo him, but even the people that boo John Cena, they're having a good time and they're still coming to the shows and they're still watching. So, what else can you do? All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey, Aaron, do you think Tatanka will ever go into the WWE Hall of Fame? And do you personally feel he deserves it? That's a tough one. I mean, Tatanka was somewhat of a memorable character during a down period in WWE. But on the other hand, he wasn't ever a major superstar. He never really got past that mid-card level. And they might induct him for the same reason they inducted Coco Beware. The fact that he was a memorable, unique character from the time period. But beyond that, I really don't know if you should put him in. If I had to make a choice, yes or no, I would go with no. I would try to focus on bringing in the top tier guys into the Hall of Fame. The top superstars, the Randy Savages, the Ultimate Warriors, those kind of guys. All right, this one comes from Wraith Wolf 007. With See No Evil 2 on its way, are there any WWE studio movies that you liked? In your opinion, what was the best and the worst? I didn't care too much for the first See No Evil. It was definitely a throwaway horror film, and most of the WWE studio movies are just very generic and just a very basic movie with a basic plot. Um, I thought the Marine, the first one with John Cena, was okay, but like I said, very generic. I actually really liked the Condemned, the one with Steve Austin, and that one did the worst of all the ones that went to the theaters, which was very unfortunate because I actually thought that one was okay. Didn't like the shaky camera work that they had in that movie, but that's typical for a lot of the low budget action movies. But I thought Steve Austin did a very good job in that movie. Another one I did like, and I was surprised I liked this one, was the Big Show's movie, Knucklehead. I actually thought that Big Show did a tremendous job in that, and it was very amusing, I thought, although, of course, they had to have the big fat guy humor with him farting or whatever in the bus, whatever it was, or he was using the toilet, something like that. But, they had to have the toilet humor with Big Show. But, overall, that was an entertaining movie, and, I didn't hate it like I thought I was going to. And I haven't seen like all of the movies. I haven't seen the Marine sequels, and I don't even think I watched The Chaperone or the other John Cena movies. So I can't comment on all of them. But most of them were okay, passable. But I would say The Condemned and Knucklehead were my two favorites. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap things up here on NoDQ&A video. Make sure you keep subscribing, trying to reach 40,000 subscribers by January 1st. So tell a friend, share this video on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.